Delicious meets nutritious in the snack that packs a real protein punch. Wonderful Pistachios. Each 1-ounce serving of Wonderful Pistachios has 6 grams of protein, giving you over 10% of your daily value and making Wonderful Pistachios one of the highest protein nuts. But perhaps more than that, I love all of the flavors they have. Their sea salt and vinegar ones are my favorite when I'm craving that flavor but want to keep it healthy. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. Wonderful Pistachios come in a variety of flavors, like chili roasted, honey roasted, smoky barbecue, and jalapeno lime, perfect for enjoying with family and friends or taking them with you on the go. Whether you're a pistachio purist who loves cracking open every nut, or you prefer the convenience of no-shells pistachios, Wonderful Pistachios has got you covered. Grab Wonderful Pistachios and elevate your snacking game today. So fill up with a healthy snack when hunger strikes. Visit wonderfulpistachios.com to learn more. That's wonderfulpistachios.com.
This episode is brought to you by Hill's Pet Nutrition. Every shelter pet deserves a second chance, and you're making it possible for thousands of them every day. Because when you feed your pet Hill's, you help feed a shelter pet, which helps make them healthy, happy, and more adoptable, changing their life forever. So they can change yours. Over 14 million shelter pets fed and adopted. Science did that. Visit hillspet.com/podcast to learn more.
This is Optimal Health Daily, episode 2545. 6 Natural Ways to Calm Your Anxious Heart by Rachel Shanken of mindbodywise.com. And I'm Dr. Neil, your host and narrator. Hi there, and welcome to another Tuesday edition of Optimal Health Daily. This is one of many podcasts where we read to you from blogs for free so that you don't have to read them yourself, except on Fridays. That's where I usually answer your questions. Now, to check out our other shows where we read articles to you, just search for Optimal Living Daily wherever you're hearing this. And with that, let's get right to it and start optimizing your life. 6 Natural Ways to Calm Your Anxious Heart by Rachel Shanken of mindbodywise.com. There are natural ways to calm your anxious heart. No medication necessary. There you are, having a normal day, when suddenly you start to notice your body taking over. Your heartbeat begins to quicken. Your breath gets short and tight. You feel a little tingly and fluttery inside, but not in a good way. Your thoughts are racing. And then you realize, I'm anxious. At this point, you start going down a mental rabbit hole of inquiry, frustration, and fear. You want to know why you're anxious. Nothing specific happened to trigger you, and in reality, nothing is wrong. But your body is telling you a different story. A story you don't want to fall into because it's so darn uncomfortable. By now, you're deep in your head about it all, yet your body is continuing its alarm system. An anxious heart equals an anxious mind. In order to slow your heart and mind down so you can function at your optimal level, you need to include both your mind and body in the process. Of course, there are medicinal options that may help, but if you want something that comes from the inside out and is accessible all the time, well, here you go. 1. Relabel it. Labeling your anxiety as anxiety is honest and helpful initially. However, once you know what it is, consider calling your anxiety by another name that has less heaviness and upset to it. In essence, you're changing how you relate to your anxiety by relabeling it. For example, if you name your anxiety as old friend or even butterflies, it has more of a familiar, less intimidating connotation, thus easing its heavy grip on your heart and your whole body. 2. Observe your experience. Without judging the feeling as good or bad or I don't like this, try practicing a non-judgmental, mindful observation of your experience. By moving from being in it to observing it, you switch on a different part of your brain and you shift the experience. Use your curiosity to guide you. For example, ask yourself questions such as, what does the sensation feel like? Where do I feel it? What color is it? What shape, texture, temperature? What does it remind me of? What is my body wanting me to know. 3. Let it be what it is. Instead of trying to change it, let your anxiety be. The act of trying to push against what is what leads to more of it, because what you resist persists. It's hard not to fight against it, but if you can lean into the discomfort of the experience, it often releases its painful grip more readily. 4. Take long exhales. Longer exhales signal your body into a relaxation state versus an activated state. Play with doubling the length of your exhale. So if you inhale for 4 counts, try doing a slow exhale over 8 counts. Even if you don't make it all the way to doubling, the slow exhales will slow your anxious heart and ultimately your anxiety. For an extra benefit, while practicing this breathing technique, try putting your hands on your belly or your rib cage to tactically feel your breath. This helps bridge your mind and body, which helps with alleviating an anxious state of being. 5. This too shall pass. Remind yourself that no matter how horrible you feel, and no matter how fast your heart is pounding, nothing lasts forever, and this experience will pass. Often, it's the fear that the anxiety will never go away that amplifies the experience. Just like most everything else in life, it's not a permanent state. I suggest you say to yourself, it will feel different later, or this too shall pass. And 6, say thank you to your body. Bring your hands to your heart and send your body a mental message of love and appreciation. Your body is trying to do its job in protecting you from perceived threats of discomfort, danger, or pain. So your body may be quicker on the gas pedal than you'd like right now, but it's actually looking out for you. Instead of alienating your body by sending it messages of anger, try thanking it instead. Befriending your body during anxiety may sound bizarre, but making it an enemy is sure to backfire. It's not your fault if you feel your anxious heart beating and your body going into warning mode. It's actually an opportunity to reconnect with yourself and get present. You just listened to the post titled 6 Natural Ways to Calm Your Anxious Heart by Rachel Shanken of mindbodywise.com, and I'll be right back with my commentary.
How do you feel great on vacation? Like really good? Easy. You go to Aruba. You'll spend your time relaxing on cool white sand beaches and floating in healing blue water. You'll immerse yourself in natural wonder and find your center on an island where things move at your speed. You won't just feel great, you'll feel relaxed, renewed, and ready for life. That's the Aruba effect. Plan your trip at aruba.com.
Dr. Neil here for my commentary. Dr. Kelly McGonigal, a psychologist, has an amazing TED Talk. In it, she explains when our heart races and when we feel anxious or stressed, it's actually the body preparing us to, get this, perform at our best. Think about the physiology of stress and anxiety. As Rachel explained in today's article, when we experience stress and anxiety, our heart races, our blood pressure increases, we start to sweat, our muscles tense. All of this is preparing us to perform better. Let me explain why. Our heart rate and blood pressure go up to supply oxygen and nutrient-rich blood to our muscles, our eyes, and our brain. This then allows us to run faster, see more clearly, and think more quickly, all of which are important for performing our best. We sweat because it's our built-in air conditioning system, and that allows us to run or fight longer. Even our eyebrows are built to wick away the sweat from getting into our eyes. Our muscles tense to allow us to be at our strongest. So if we can train our brain to see anxiety and stress as something that's helpful rather than harmful, we can turn these feelings into something that actually helps us be at our best. In fact, Dr. Kelly McGonigal, the psychologist I mentioned with the TED Talk, has found through her research that when individuals change their attitudes about stress and see it as something natural and positive, they are more likely to live longer. But she explains it so much better, so if you haven't yet, definitely check out her TED Talk. That's it for today's episode. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for sharing the show with someone. That's one of the best ways to keep the show going. I thank you in advance for doing that. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you back here tomorrow where your optimal life awaits.